improved. I mean, it's a dramatic improvement from week 1, or excuse me, practice 1 to practice 12. You saw them out there at the end. All 3 of those guys are out there competing, doing a great job.
Do you expect each of them to contribute and actually play on the field this year?
Yes, sir. Yes. As everyone knows, I like to use a lot of guys. I like to keep guys fresh in a game, especially all the high-tempo offenses that we see. Whoa, look at these guys.
What's up, Coach?
Good-looking guys right here.
Hey, Coach.
So I like to use a lot of guys, but they certainly have the athletic ability. They're gaining knowledge, and you'll see them on the field soon.
Coach, what do you like out of Matt Dickerson?
Matt Dickerson's got unbelievable hands, and he's got great length. So he can really shock and separate guys, and you see him. He's throwing offensive linemen around, shedding them, getting to the ball. So he's doing a nice job with his hands. His pass rush is coming along, and he'll get more physical as the days go on.
What's Eddie Vanderdoes's learning curve been like after sitting out all spring?
You know, Eddie, I mean, he's picked up what we're doing. I mean, it's been a change. He missed spring. So, you know, he's a kinesthetic learner. He's got to get out there and do it. You know, he's also was in a boot for a long time throughout the spring and into summer. So he's probably, you know, not in great football shape running-wise because he was in a cast. He's kind of gaining endurance as we go. He's certainly getting a lot of reps. So he's getting in better shape.
How's Ellis doing right now?
Ellis is doing fine. He's gotten his weight down. I think he's 335.
Okay.
His goal weight, he wants to get down to 325. So he's making strides. The individual drills looks really good. Yeah.
Do you still kind of foresee them, you know, splitting a little bit, Eddie and maybe Ellis playing some nose, or is that?
Well, I mean, you know, that's a credit to those guys. They can play multiple positions, and that's what I plan on, using those guys at different positions. Based on the matchups, what we see from week to week, you know, as you guys know, I like to interchange personnel and get good matchups. So, you know, Eddie can play inside, he can play the 3, he can play the 4-eye, he can play a 5. Ellis can play a 0 nose, a 1, a 2-eye, a 3, a 4-eye, and a 5. So they're pretty talented guys. Yeah.
Are you excited to use Eddie a little bit more at that 3 tech this year than maybe he was in the past?
Yeah, I mean, in the past, you know, in the nickel package, he did play some 3. Yeah, base downs, he'll get in a 3 technique and a 4-eye, and he plays the B-gap well. He's certainly an explosive player and physical. Yeah.
How much do you foresee the defensive lineman having to contribute to the pass rush? I know, because you obviously had Anthony Barr, Cassius, you know, playing there last year. Do you think they're, you know, those guys are going to have to take some of that load?
Yeah, certainly. You know, I think we have some very good pass rushers. You know, I see the guys continue to develop that. You know, the bigger guys, they're used to just bowling guys over. So when I get them fresh out of high school, you know, that's my job is to groom them and develop them to use their hands, use their eyes, body balance, that type of stuff. So I've really seen us develop in camp so far in 12 practices as really good pass rushers. So we'll continue to do that.
Does it feel like a bit of a blessing in disguise at this point that you still have Owa for one more season, even though you missed last season?
Certainly, yes. I mean, Owa is an experienced player. You know, I considered him a starter 2 years ago. I mean, he was the guy that was rotating with Dayton and Cassius, which are 2 pretty good players. They're still playing and make a lot more money than I do. But, you know, Owa was always in the mix, and then he became a starter when we played Stanford. You know, we used him as an outside linebacker in certain packages, and so he got a lot of experience. I mean, he was averaging between 30 and 45 snaps a game, which is about half a game, you know, depending on the game and stuff. But Owa, certainly a great leader. He's been great with our younger guys. If you look at our depth chart, 2/3 of them are sophomores down. So we got a lot of young guys, and to have someone like Owa with his experience, his leadership, his work ethic, that type of stuff is a blessing. So I'm glad we got him for 6 more months.
The O-line's you know, been pretty decimated by injuries. You've only had, I think, 1 guy go down for any appreciable amount of time in Ellis. What do you attribute that to? Are you doing anything different, you think? No, I mean, you know, the injury bug always hits a certain position in camp, and a lot of times it's something the coaches can't control. So, you know, that's just one thing. I know Adrian will do a good job getting those guys back. He does a tremendous job of grooming those guys and getting them ready to play. So the O-line will be back.
Any of those new young guys strike you as kind of natural pass rushers?
Jacob is quite a pass rusher. For his size, you know, he goes 6'4.5", 6'5", about 265. Can really bend. I mean, his hip flexibility is unbelievable. He's got great shin angle, good get off, that type of stuff. And just getting him, again, to train him to use his hands. And he's picking it up real quick. I mean, he's had quite a few sacks during camp. So just so we know, we don't touch the quarterback in camp. Does everybody know that? I know there's a lot of guys counting sacks out there, but the banana guys, the yellow guys, we don't touch them. I'll be back being a substitute teacher if we do. So I'll make sure we stay away from those guys.
How does Kenny look different, you know, since the end of last season?
You know, Kenny, if you can believe, he's more physical. He has better knowledge. Schematically, we're doing some different things to enhance his position. He's becoming more of a leader. He's a great lead by example guy. He's probably, for the interior guys, got the cleanest technique by far. And you can tell he's really worked hard in the offseason. So if you can believe it, Kenny Clark's even more physical. Yeah.
That was about Kenny.
That was your question? Yeah.
You covered it all.
Covered it all.
Going back to Oa a little bit, given the injury that he had and how much time he sat out, do you still expect to be, do you expect him to be quite as versatile, or are you going to have to kind of scale that back and maybe use him in just
No, he's still going to be really versatile. I mean, he's going to play interior. We'll move him outside. We'll have him as a speed rusher. I mean, we're going to use all his talents, certainly to our advantage. I think, he kind of had to work through the kinks in the spring, which he did. He really fought through it in those 15 practices. Coming out here to San Bernardino, he hasn't missed a beat. I mean, he looks really good right now. So he looks extremely physical, and he's really starting to control his body balance and pass rush, which is something we've been working on in the summer. So making sure when he strikes a guy, he's balanced and he can make his hand fighting movement and pass rush. So he's only getting better and better. We expect big things out of him.
Cool.